How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to Salvage Auto Rebuilds, where today, yes, as you can see, we are going to be working on Brian's 1978 Plymouth Fury. So guys, as I mentioned in the last episode, we are going to be sending this car over to the service center for its paint job, just to get it done a little bit more professionally than we can do it over here at our shop. So yeah, the first order of business would be to try and put all of the suspension together again. So we've ordered a bunch of new parts, and there's also a lot of old parts that are still in fairly decent condition, which we're going to be reusing. So I think everything is going to work out quite well for us. So yeah, there's another little thing that we are also busy with on our pickup truck. So as you can see, we took the bed apart in the last episode and painted everything with a combination of white and black. So our bed floor and also those two side panels are painted black. And I did decide to go ahead and paint this matte black off camera as well. So we're going to see how this is going to look once we put it all together again. And then what I wanted to do is dig a little bit further into our pickup truck's cab by taking it off and just see where the dents are and how many dents there are in it. So yeah, we've got quite a bit of things planned for today, which leaves us with a little bit of a problem as well. Because if I do take the truck apart, it means we are not going to have ourselves a tow rig. So, yeah, which brings me to our other vehicle over here, which is this 1970s Dodge Challenger. So, my thoughts on this car today is I want to see what we can do with all the parts that I managed to salvage off Brian's car. Replace a couple of things, get it running a little bit better. And we are going to use this to tow the trailer with Brian's car on the back of the trailer over to the service center. So I'm quite hopeful that's going to work out. So first of all, let's start off by getting our tools out of the little office over here. I see I left the drawer open, but there we go. Alright, let's grab this and just bring it outside. Alright, so let's start with the suspension work first. Getting Brian's car back onto four wheels again. So as you can see, I've been a little bit busy off camera. I actually mounted all of the old tires of the truck onto the steelies that we had laying around. So we've got a full set of steel wheels, and we are going to be putting this on Brian's car just to take it over to the service center, which I think is going to work out pretty well for us. All right, let's just maybe move this a little bit to here, and then we can start cracking on with the suspension. So I think let's start with rear suspension. We're going to assemble this and just get everything put together, and well, take it from there, guys. So starting with the differential. So I decided we're going to give him a 3.2 differential, which is going to give him a little bit higher top speed, but it might affect the acceleration a bit. But I think the engine that he's got in this thing is going to be powerful enough to even make up for that. So I think things are going to still be pretty good with this car, the way it drives and handles. And let's get our handbrake cable. So most of the parts, as I mentioned, are new, but some of them, like the axle itself, is still the old one that came off the car. And I figured, well, it's still good enough, so we might as well just go ahead and reuse it. Alright, so let's get these discs onto here, which are also the old discs. So let's just make sure to zip these down. Okay, looking pretty good so far. And let's get our brake pads in the calipers over here. So we've got brand new brake pads for these brand new calipers. So yeah, I'm not taking any shortcuts here with the brakes on this car at all, because let's face it, it's something you definitely need to have proper in a car like this if you are going to be, you know, especially using it for a daily, or I don't know what exactly he's planning on doing with it, but we are going to get this thing ready for anything that he's going to throw at it. So let's just make sure we get this bolted down properly. And can you stop swinging about? You know, that's always a problem with working on differentials and stuff, you know, axles in particular. They tend to do this, what I would like to call a seesaw maneuver, but okay. Now it's put together, so that can go back in the car, but let's first get our leaf springs mounted to the car itself. Okay, so there's the one. Okay, so I do know these bolts are a little bit tricky to get to back here, so let's just take it nice and easy and make sure we get to those. Alright, let's grab the other one for the opposite side. Okay, pop this onto here. And now we just got to hunt for this other bolt over here, which is a little bit finicky, but I think we got it. Alright, so next step, let's get our axle into position. I think this is going to work out pretty well. It's actually nice working on the jack stands for a change. It's a little bit uncomfortable crawling under the car like this, but at least you don't have any issues. Like things being in the way, lift arms and such. So, yeah, it actually works out a little bit better. There are some pros and cons to it if you ask me. Alright, so what else do we need to do back there? Probably the shock absorbers. So let's get these in. Alright, so pop this one in here, zip it down there, and there's a bolt up there. Or a nut rather, we need to tighten down. Okay, let's do the same with the other side. And then I think we are ready to put some wheels on this car, and we'll continue with the front suspension. Alright, so I already aired these wheels up as well, or the tires, so they should be holding air. And these tires that came off the truck are still in pretty decent condition, so they should actually be suitable for a future project if we do decide to use them on a, another car at some point. As for the Dodge Challenger, I was thinking of using the rims that we currently have on the car, but just getting some higher profile tires, which will actually do a little bit better. And just make it look a little bit more classic, But alright, let's start with the front suspension, starting with our steering box that goes on to, I think it goes here. Alright, pretty straightforward. There's the steering arm. Let's put the steering arm onto here. Okay, and the steering link can go on. Alright, let's just, yeah, come on, steering link, come here, there we go. Alright, get this zip down over there and right there. We can get our new tie rods on. And the other one over there. Alright, perfect. And now we can grab this, which is our front left lower control arm. Goes over here. Just gotta get the sweet spot, and there it is. Okay, put that onto here, and then we're gonna grab the new one for this side. Okay, so that one has already got the strut rod on it because we put it together once we took it off again, because it was still in decent condition. And this is also the old strut rod that we took off of the car earlier when we stripped it, so that's going to work out pretty well. Alright, let's get the hub carrier on this side and also this one, which is the old one. So yeah, there's quite a bit of a mix match of parts here, but everything is still in very good condition, so Brian shouldn't have any trouble with this car anytime soon, depending on how much he's going to be driving it. But yeah, there we go. Because he's got a couple of cars actually that he showcased off the other day in the Discord. And yeah, he's got Uncle Bill's car as well. He was the winner of that auction. So yeah, he's going to have quite a few cars that have been featured on our YouTube channel here, guys, which is actually epic. I think the other car that he's got is from the Revival Season 2, which is the also Dodge Challenger, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, he's definitely cherishing all the cars that I work on for him, which, it gives me a little warm, fuzzy feeling inside knowing that the cars that we actually build are going to good homes and people are actually taking care of them and using them. And I cannot for the life of me get this brake pad in. There we go. All right. There we are. Okay, so now we can get these brake hoses on here. All right. Zip it up there. Let's move this one this way. All right. Brake hose goes on here. All right. This is passenger side, which is over there. Okay. Zip that down. And we'll do the same with this side. Our driver side. Just make sure we bolt down both of those. And let's go ahead and get this mounted. So these are the upper control arms. They go in here somewhere. Just got to find the sweet spot for it. All right, zip that up over there. And we'll grab this one for the opposite side. And there it is. Okay, zip that down. And let's do shock absorbers. All right, zip that down over there. And this one for the other side. All right, and zip it down there. All right, perfect. Now we can get this mounted. So this is the cross member itself, and I actually think this thing might not have bolts over there, but let's just get the thing secured here for now and see how everything is going to work out. Okay, so as I said, I don't think there are any bolts on the cross member, which is a bit strange, but okay, you know what? That's probably how it was designed. Okay, let's just make sure we get all of those things bolted up. And yeah, I just wanted to double check we don't have any bolts on this cross member at all. I don't think so. Yep, it doesn't seem to be bolted down anywhere. So yeah, well, not going to question it. Let's just make sure we get these torsion bars in as well. These are a little bit finicky sometimes to get in, but just got to find the sweet spot. And we are literally crawling down here. All right, there we go. I think that is buttoned up. Let's just see if I missed anything. We've got brake hoses. We've got upper control arms. Okay. All right, brake hose bolted down. Shock absorber bolted down. Okay, perfect. So that gives us a complete front suspension. All right, let's go ahead and bolt these wheels down properly. There we go. That one is on. And as for the drive shaft, I don't know if we can put it in. We can actually. Yes, we've got the transmission. It's just going to be a little bit tricky maybe getting to all the bolts, but I'm quite sure if we fiddle around here, we should get to them all. Okay, there's obviously some more at the back we need to do, but let's get this wheel on here first. All right, just following that star pattern. All right, perfect. And now we need to get under here for the drive shaft bolts, which is done. And just like that, Brian's car is back on its own four wheels, or not really its wheels, on some wheels. All right, so let's get the jack stands out from under the car, because we are going to need this when we work on our Dodge Challenger a little bit later. Because I think what we're going to do next is we're going to tackle the pickup truck, because I really want to see if we can get that cab removed and also assemble the bed again. And we could probably even get the bed mounted again, because we're not going to be painting the cab close to the truck bed. So it's all going to work out eventually. All right, so let's lower it back down. All right, I think that looks pretty good. So we've got all four of the wheels, all the suspension is pretty much sorted now. Yeah, these wheels actually don't fit the car too bad. Maybe even with some wheel spacers, it would actually look pretty decent on this car. But all right, let's dig into the truck bed for a second, guys, because I want to see if we can put this thing back together. Where's the screwdriver? Let's just pick up our tools. Oh, come on. Just, there we are. Okay, so let's bring this. I don't think we really need the tools over there. We just need the welding machine, because we're going to be welding the thing back together. So let's grab our welder. All right, this is our MIG welder. Yeah, that's what it's called. All right, we're going to bring this over here, and we're going to start with the front panel, which I believe is going right over here. So let's see how this works. All right, it's obviously a little bit finicky, but let's just weld it up. All right, and there we are. Okay, so that is the first part done. Now we can get these bed sides on, which this is for the left-hand side. It goes over here. And this one is for the right-hand side. It goes over there. Okay, and we'll start with these welds over here. Okay, looking pretty good. So I did spray clear coat on the bed sides, well, the outer panels. So I think that's going to look pretty good once we get it polished up as well. But I think we'll leave the polishing to last once everything is pretty much done already. All right, it's just one more weld. We cannot reach it from this side. Let's go this way. And there we go. All right, pushing the bed around a bit, but that's okay. All right, so now this is going to be the fun part, and that is to try and put the outer skins on. Okay, so let's see how this is going to work. We just got to get it up here perfectly like that, and it's going to obviously jump around a bit, but it's fine. We'll just get it welded into place, and then, yeah, I think that is almost there. We've got definitely a little bit of an improvement on this bed. I mean, look at that. It's actually turning out to be pretty nifty. All right, let's do the other side skin, outer skin over here. Let's get this onto here. And it's going to give us a little bit of a bounce again. And now we just need to weld it into place. Starting over here, over there, and all the way over this side. Just the last one. Alright, so that is our truck bed done and dusted. So now I'll probably just got to mount the tailgate. That's what we're going to need a wrench for over here. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab the wrench and our tailgate. Okay, this needs to go this way on the back. Okay, so there we are. And there's just a bolt over there. And another bolt on this side. And that is our truck bed now fully assembled. So as I said, we are going to be doing a trim delete on this truck. So absolutely no trim is necessary on it. So let's bring this bed a little bit closer. But I think we're not going to mount it just yet. Just going to put it nice and out of the way over there. And now I'm going to have a look at this cab and see what we need to do. I think first of all, let's take all of the stuff out of the truck that's currently laying inside. Just see what we've got here. We've got the spare tire, which, yeah, we'll just take it out for now. Alright, let's just set it down over here. And then, I don't think there's anything else that's loose in here, so we can probably take everything apart. Alright, starting with here at the front, we're going to undo the main brake line right over there. Okay, that should free up the cab. And I wonder, yeah, you know what, let's just do this. We're going to take the hood off anyway. So, I do recall we replaced the hood. So, this is a brand new hood. It's just going to be repainted white again now. Okay, so we've got our emblem on the front, which I need to probably take off. And I can just check this for dents, but I doubt it will have any dents on it because it's a brand new hood and we haven't had any hail or anything like that. So, I think this is still in perfect condition, which it is. So, yeah, shouldn't have doubted it. Alright, so let's start by undoing all of the bolts under the cab here, which, yeah, it's pretty simple. It's just these 4 underneath, well, 2 on each side. Okay, and then we go to this side. Okay, so we'll take this one off and then this one over there. And, yep, there it goes. Alright, it's a little bit heavy, but we've got it. Alrighty, perfect. So now what I'm thinking of doing is we're going to strip out the interior, or at least what's left of the interior, taking out all of our windows, all of our glass and stuff like that. All the mirrors are coming off. And yeah, I actually replaced the mirrors already. So we've got brand new mirrors, and these window cranks are also still pretty decent, I think. Okay, this one is actually brand new. Alright, which is great. I think I did replace them both, actually, come to think of it. Let's just check this one as well. Here we've got a door guard that needs to come off, which is actually not in the best shape. So we are going to be getting some new interior bits for this truck as well. There's our other window lifter, which is also a brand new one. So yeah, looks like I did replace these already. Okay, let's just put it all the way over here. I'm kind of keeping all of the, you know, parts we don't want to have damaged all the way back here. So these are the windows for Brian's car, and we've got his exhaust back as well. I mean, look at these beauties, guys. These things are absolutely shiny now. Now I think they're going to look the part once we get them back on the car. Alright, let's continue here. We're going to take off this glass. Okay, which never really got cleaned up properly. Look at that. There's a little bit of mold underneath here. Oh, okay. Well, we'll definitely get that cleaned up before we put it back on the truck. But okay, we at least have got this glass. Let's just put it onto this over there. And then we've got another small glass on this side, which, yeah, the bolt is a little bit in a weird position, but we've got it. Okay. Alright, let's put this down right over here on top of that one. That way we know it's not going anywhere. And, yeah, I think... let's just check this out. Is this... yeah, these are bolts. Okay, so... yeah, the original mirrors actually have screws. These have got bolts. Okay, so that's a brand new mirror that I put on. A little bit of a smaller one. Because I think we don't really need those huge truck mirrors that came with the truck. Or even the bigger ones that you get for those, you know, rollback trucks. So there we go. We've got this mirror off as well. Which we'll just put it over there. There's still a lot of glass in this thing we need to pop out. So let's start with the glass. Okay. Alright, this one is a little bit finicky to do sometimes, so we'll just go ahead and put this down. I think put it down very nice and easy over there. Alright, we'll pick it up again once we need it. Okay, and pop this glass out. This is our quarter glass. I think one of these were actually missing and the one was broken, but yeah, we've got some decent ones now, at least for this. Alright, and let's go and grab the other one out of here, and yeah, might as well take this trim off as well. As I said, we are going to be deleting all of the trim, so this is probably just going to go straight to the trash. Alright, let's get this small quarter glass out of here now. There we are. Okay, put that down over there. Looking good so far. Definitely making good progress. Alright, so last but not least, the front windshield we need to come out. So let's grab this, and we're also going to set this down right over there. I could actually move this over here as well, because I don't know where I'm going to be working on the Charger, or well, the Challenger. I might actually pull it here anyway, so we'll see. So yeah, just going to do a couple of things to that car, getting it a little bit more reliable for the road that we are going to embark on, to go and drop off the Plymouth Fury at the service center. So let's get this bench out of here next, guys, and see what it is all about. Alright, there's the bench, and yep, here's the carpet as well. Oh, the carpet is actually in terrible shape, so yeah, we're just going to chuck it outside the fence here. Probably going to replace it anyway. And then we've got our bench, which is not in the greatest shape, but we'll see. I'm still deciding what color interior I want to go with for the truck. I was thinking of doing black, because black and white, you know, it's going to contrast very nicely. Okay, so now can we get the gear stick out? There we are. Okay, gear stick. Yeah, also quite busted, so a new interior for this truck is definitely a must. Let's see what else. We've got pedals, steering column, dashboard. Okay, let's maybe do the dashboard, and also this wiper motor and linkage. Everything can come off pretty much. Alright, there's the wiper motor, which is actually, I think I replaced this. I can't remember, guys. I did a couple of things off camera, so do excuse me if I don't remember what I did. But yeah, there was definitely a whole lot of things happening. And I think we'll eventually get to that point where this truck is going to be completely immaculate. Let's get ourselves a screwdriver, and just going to undo the dashboard real quick. So it's pretty simple. We've got a screw under here, and same on the other side, right under here. Okay, there it is. Okay. Alright, here's the dashboard. Okay, dashboard is not terrible. I do think our cluster in this is actually pretty decent. I can't recall now, so we can maybe go ahead and pop that cluster out real quick. I just wanted to inspect it and see if it's got the true mileage. I think it does. What is the true mileage on this? 761,799. Holy crap. Okay. Alright, well, it's not in the greatest condition, but it still works. So I guess we'll figure it out where we are going to replace the cluster and just use Uncle Bull's nifty hand drill over there to get the mileage right. Or if we're just going to not bother with it and just get a new cluster installed, you know. Alright, so there are the pedals. The pedals are still in great condition. I think, once again, may have replaced this off camera. I don't recall. And then we've got our steering column with the wrong steering wheel, which is off of the Mercedes donor vehicle that we got back in the day. So I might have a look around and see if I can find something better, a little bit more fitting for the truck. But I actually do like the steering wheel. It's actually a nice modern steering wheel. But yeah, it's not really for the truck. Okay, but here's our steering column, which is pretty much brand new. So once again, I don't recall if I replaced it. Alright, now I actually wanted to see if I can hop inside the cab, but it's proving to be a bit difficult. Alright, well, I'm just going to have to lean in and undo this. Okay, so there's our wiper motor linkage and, well, all the wiper blades and stuff have been replaced already. So, yeah, I did a couple of things off camera by the looks of it, guys. Working on our, daily. Okay, let's see if we can get this off as well. There's no point in keeping this on here. Which, actually, this thing needs to be replaced. It's a little bit, a little too far gone. Let's just put this over here so that I know I need to order a new one of those. And then what else is there? It's just the master cylinder, which can come off. Probably right over there and over there. Okay, let's just grab it before it falls down. Okay. Yeah, this is still decent. We can definitely reuse this. So I don't think I replaced this. This is probably what came with the truck. So just going to roll with it. Alright, so looking at this thing, I don't think there's pretty much a whole lot left on it. We've got some trim on the doors, which are going to have to come off because we are going to be sandblasting any rust that we find on this thing. But I think I may have taken care of the rust already on this truck cab, guys. It looks pretty much solid now. It's just going to be a matter of fixing up some more dents and painting this thing white. So it's going to be pretty simple. I think we also have got enough white paint. Let's just check on this. Yeah, we still got a little bit of paint over here, and we've got another full can over there. So I think we are going to be golden. We're going to be able to paint this thing properly. Let's just grab the pry tool for these two pieces of trim. Okay, so there's the one. And once again, trim delete. So that's going in the trash. And I might have to give this thing a little bit of a rinse, just to get all of the dust off of it. Okay, there's the other door trim, which is actually in good condition, but once again, trim delete. So we'll get that removed, and then we'll also remove this from the hood so that we can get the hood painted. Okay, hopefully that's going to stay put there and not go anywhere. Alright, so the hood is ready for a coat of white paint. The cab, we are going to check this out. Let's just move it a little bit further away from the box over there. We don't want to get any paint on that. And let's also remove the fenders. So these fenders also need to come off, and then we can paint them separately, I guess. Well, I think the one, I can't recall which side it was now, guys. Was it this one or the other one? I think it was the passenger side. We did the passenger side already. We painted this, yeah, this was an odd color. So we painted this one the same color as the rest of the truck, but we're going to be changing the color on it to white. So yeah, this is going to come off. See, this also needs a bit of a rinse, so we're going to wash it off with our hose. Just need to remove that trim from that fender flare over here. Oh, well, this is probably considered the fender flare, but it's, yeah, I don't know. Trim delete, guys. Trim delete. There we go. All right, let's grab our hose. I don't think it's necessary to grab the pressure washer. We just want to give this a little bit of a rinse. Make sure all of the dust is off of it when we get to painting. So hopefully this will be nice and dry by the time we get to paint work. And just give the cab a little bit of a rinse here as well. I don't think there's a whole lot of dust on this. Maybe a little bit at the back and down here. Yeah, doesn't look too bad. I don't see any rust on this thing anymore. So I think we did a pretty decent job at fixing this thing up so far. It's just going to be a matter of perfecting it a little bit better now and giving it a nice shiny new coat of paint in white. Alright, so let's put our hose back there and let's just check if there's anything else on the truck that we need to take off. I don't think anything else needs to be painted, so that can all stay put. And yeah, now what I'm going to do is we're going to grab some more Bondo, because I think there's going to be quite a bit of dents and stuff and we might have to sort out. So let's just grab all of these. Can always bring them back if we don't need them. Alright, so here's our body filler, and let's see if we are going to be able to fix up dents on this fender. Over here, no dents. Alright, so then that is perfect. Alright, let's start on the cab then. Okay, not sure where the dent should be. It's probably on this side, a little bit over there. This door was fixed up completely, so that shouldn't have a problem. Let's just check the rocker panel again. I think I did sort this out already. Yeah, that's been sorted. So it's just this cab quarter over here. I think that's what they call this. Just gotta go through it and make sure it's dent free. Around the back here, there's a couple of dings. Just get it sorted out like that, nice and easy. And that is one Bondo tub empty. So luckily we've got a few more. Alright, so let's just keep at this. See where all the dents are on this panel. It's probably scattered all over the place, but yeah, pretty simple. There are some dents on the roof somewhere. We're gonna have to inspect it properly and figure that out. It's probably just, I think we got it. It's just that one over there. The door seems to be looking good. I missed some dust over there, but that's okay. We'll get it sorted out real quick. Alright, so actually not a whole lot of dents on this truck. On this cab at least. Okay, well, come on, let's just open the door properly. Alright, let's see what else we've got. Just a little dent over there. Alright, well, so this thing is actually in much better condition than I thought, guys. I thought this thing was going to be riddled with dents, but it turns out to be relatively straight. So that is great. That is great. It means it saves us a little bit of time in trying to prepare this thing for paint. So we are quickly going to rinse it off once again. The little bit of dust we missed. Can we just turn on the headlamp so we can see what we are doing? And what we're going to do is we're going to give it a little bit of time to dry off before we spray paint this thing white. Because we've got a little bit of stuff to carry on with the Challenger. There's something I needed to do before we actually start working on it as well. So I already drained the oil from the engine, and we're just going to put in some fresh oil because the oil in there was a little bit disgusting. So I think it's better to just change the oil and then give the engine the best fighting chance that it can have at making it over to the service center without any issues. So let's quickly have a look at this. We still got a fender and stuff to mount, and the bumper. I actually found the bumper and the fender at the junkyard, which is great. Alright, so let's just check it. It is drained completely. Yep, that is empty. Okay, so let's open up the cap. In terms of coolant, I think we're still good with coolant. The radiator doesn't seem to be in the best condition, but it'll have to do for now. Alright, let's just get this filled up with some fresh oil. Alright, so we've got 3 bottles of oil in the engine, and just look at that. That is looking so much better. Alright, so we'll just get our dipstick back in there. I think what we're going to do is, yeah, I don't know why I closed the hood, because we need to mount the fender, but let's go and rinse the fender off as well. I mean, since we are kind of in the cleaning mood, washing everything. So the fender we found has got a little bit of rust on it, but luckily it doesn't seem to have any rusty holes, which is good. So we should be able to get this thing on the car and run it as it is for the moment. I don't know if there's any dents on this, or I don't even know if there are any dents on the car itself, but we'll see, guys. I don't know. We'll start working on this thing a little bit better a little bit later on. For now, I'm just trying to make it a little bit more reliable and make sure we don't run into any issues with it when we try and use it a little bit later. So yeah, this is our new to us fender on the car. Let's just turn on the torch again, because once again the weather is not the greatest. So yeah, I don't know. It's very cloudy these past couple of days, so I haven't had rain in a while, but it's definitely a little bit of a weird one with the weather. But okay, let's get our bumper also rinsed up a bit. So yeah, it doesn't really look like much at the moment, but I think beyond this dust and dirt, there's definitely going to be a little bit of shine. So let's see how it looks. Yeah, look at that. Just blasting away all of that dust. And yeah, this bumper actually looks pretty good. Pretty nice and chrome still. So yep, let's go ahead and get this thing mounted onto the car. And now the rest of the car is a little bit dirty, but you know what, that's fine. Something that can be dealt with. When the time comes, we'll get it cleaned up, maybe before we even hit the road with it. So there's one more thing that I need to remember to do, otherwise we ain't towing anything with that car, and that is we need to borrow the rear trailer hook of the pickup truck. Now I've tried having a look at putting the trailer hook on the Chevy Camaro, and unfortunately it's not going to work out, because yeah, the mounting point for a tow bar is way too far forward, so it's not going to come out at the back of the bumpers. So that's why we are not towing with the Camaro, guys, because I also feel like we need to kind of cherish and baby this car and not have anything happen to it, you know, potentially getting it damaged or anything like that when towing a trailer. So for that reason, we are going to be towing with our little beater. Our beater with a heater, if you can call it that. Alright, so I think let's start looking at this thing with a little bit of white paint now. Okay, so those are all the bottles of Bondo we still have, or cans of Bondo. Alright, let's put this over here. Close up the doors. Okay, let's move the cab right over to this spot over there. Okay, I think everything is nice and dry enough now. Looks pretty good. Yeah, definitely nice and dry, so we can go ahead and paint this now. So we are going to need our spray paint compressor and our spray gun. The spray gun should be in here. There it is. Okay. Alright, let's just set this down. I think I did take the paint out of it, so we are golden. Right, we are going to need our bigger compressor here. Let's take this over. Alright, and just put it somewhere over here so that we can reach everywhere. And we're going to grab the 2 paint tins over here. Grab that one in the backpack, and we'll put this one straight in the spray gun. I don't know how long this is still going to go, but we will use it up, and then we'll put the fresh one in, or the new one. As I said, it's just a little bit finicky getting the cans into the spray gun, but once you get it, there we go. We are ready to rock and roll. So guys, let's go ahead and paint this cab white and just see how it turns out. I might have to do the clear coat a little bit later today. We'll see. Maybe even tomorrow I'll do it off camera, because then, yeah, we can get this thing polished up in the next episode when we put it together again. Okay, so those are the 2 fenders painted, and let's start on the roof. Alright, well, here we go. This is going to be a little bit of a job getting this thing painted everywhere. Even off the truck, it's still a little bit high, and we are out of paint. Alright, well, let's go ahead and put in the other can we've got over here. I'm pretty sure we'll make it with this one paint can. Otherwise, yeah, well, Lewis's shop is just a couple of meters away, so we should be able to do it. And go and pick up some more white paint, because it's a very basic color, so yeah, nothing special to it. And is that what I think it is? Wait a second, what is going on here? Yep, we've got rust. Alright, you know what? Let's just go ahead and blast that little bit of rust away. And we'll do this pretty much every time we see a bit of rust, guys. We'll quickly get it blasted away, and then we'll cover it with paint. You know? It's as simple as it gets. Alright, well, let's continue painting this door. Alright. Make sure it's nice and white everywhere. And under here. Alright, up to the door jambs. That looks good so far. Yeah, I think really doing it like this, it's actually a whole lot easier. Let's just move our fenders a little bit out of the way, because otherwise we're going to end up stepping on the freshly painted panels, which is not ideal. Okay, so let's go ahead and spray it up over here. And it'll be amazing to have a proper paint booth one day, so that we can actually do this the right way, because this is really not ideal. That's why I'm trying to get all of the customer vehicles sent in for paint jobs, just to make sure everything is looking the best it can. Alright, there we go. Alright, quick and easy actually doing this. Alright, paint the door. And we'll just do the front panel over here. And I still need to paint on the inside of the door over here. Just pop it open again. And oops, we missed a tiny spot over there. Okay, and I don't see any other rust on this thing. It looks pretty solid if you ask me. Alright, and I think that should do the trick. Yeah, I would like to call that a win. So the cab is now completely painted white. And hopefully we've got enough paint to paint the hood as well, which I'm going to move a little bit further away. Let's move it this way. Let's put it over here, and hopefully the air compressor is still close enough. Okay, let's paint this thing white as well. There we go. Yeah, that is looking a lot better. Okay, this doesn't have any rust because it's a brand new hood. But yeah, just making sure we've got all of the edges and stuff like that covered on this hood. And then I think we are good, guys. That is actually looking a whole lot better. Okay, well, now that we've got our cab painted white, the only thing that I still need to do to this thing is get it clear coated, but we're going to give the paint a little bit of time to cure first. It is quick drying paint, but I think let's just give it at least a day or so. Make sure it is as dry as it can be. Alright, come on, can you come off here? Alright, there we go. Alright, let's get the paint can out of here. Yeah, we definitely made it. So yeah, we've got a little bit of white paint left and a little bit of primer, and there's still a little bit of black, which I don't know when we are going to need it. I might paint this one wheel black as well, you know, so that we've got a matching set at some point, but at the moment it's not really a big trouble or a big worry of mine. Okay, let's just move all of this out of the way because we need to get our Dodge Challenger in the yard, and I think we've got enough space here. We can probably just work here. Alright, I might have to move that bed. I don't know where I'm going to go with this. Let's just put the bed somewhere else. I think, you know what, let's play it safe. We're going to put this thing in the parking spot. I think that'll be better. And nice and out of the way here. Alright, and let's just see what else we need to move. Okay, let's just put this thing back together. Come on, go on there. Okay, so this is trash. Yeah, look at me trying to keep the place neat and tidy on camera, you know. Alright, let's put the spray gun back in the toolbox, and now we're going to see if we can pull the Dodge Challenger in here, guys, which hopefully we'll be able to do the job in towing the 78 Fury over to the paint shop. So, yeah. Let's see if this thing still fires up. It has been sitting here for a little bit of time. Alright, come on. You can do it. There we are. Alright, well, she growled into life. And it's just a matter of trying to put it in the yard. Come on, old gal. You can do it. Yeah, she's running a little rough. But I think she'll be fine once we get her on the open road. Maybe opening up the throttle a bit will clean out all of the gunk and stuff that's been building up in the car. Alright, so I think first order of business is I want to get this thing cleaned up a bit. So let's grab our pressure washer. We're going to do a better job at cleaning this thing. And just make sure it's as clean as it can be for now. So let's quickly see how this works. It works absolutely beautifully if you ask me. And yeah, we've got a lot of clear coat fading on this paint job. But it's not a big problem. We are going to be able to sort that out without too many issues. Okay, just get it cleaned up a bit now. Yep, I can't wait to get this thing painted. I think it's going to look absolutely amazing in this green if we repainted it the same green, and maybe I was thinking even if we got the wheels painted the same color as the car and get those little chrome hubcaps that goes in the middle of these wheels, it'll look pretty nice. Although these wheels are originally off of a Dodge Coronet and we are putting it on a Dodge Challenger, I think it still kind of makes sense, although not really the right wheels for the car, but yeah, it is what it is. I mean, that's what we got. Alright, so where did I put the floor jack? The floor jack is over here. Okay, there we go. Alright, so the floor jack will go under here. Okay, and let's lift it up because we're going to work on suspension. Let's just have a look around here quickly, guys, in the trunk, because we've got a leaf spring that's supposed to go on this corner. So I'm not too sure if this leaf spring is better than the one on the car, but I just kept it anyway because it was still decent. And so I ordered 2 new ones for Brian's car, and we've got these old differential, which is looking a little bit better than the one we currently have on the car. So we're going to be replacing that. And I've also got a rear shock absorber for this side, which is a little bit bad on this corner, as we can see over there. So we're going to be replacing that one with the old shock absorber. And then we've got a front right lower control arm, which I believe needs to go on this side because that one is busted. And we've also got a front shock absorber, if I'm not mistaken, There it is. Okay. So this is also going on this corner. And then we've got ourselves a better hub for this corner over here, which is going to replace this rusty one over there. So yeah, looks like most of the work is going to be on that side. We should be able to do the shock absorber on the car over here as it sits. Just going to have to crawl in under here a bit and undo this. Okay, get that out from there. And we'll grab the new to us one and just pop that into here. And there's another thing I wanted to check. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we've got ourselves a better torsion bar as well for that front end that is sagging quite a bit over there. So I think let's pop this in next, and this is going to give us that that stable ride height, if you know what I mean, because it's kind of leaning over to the left. So let's just put our floor jack under here and lift it up so you need tiny bit so that we can actually work on it. All right. Whoa, what is this car doing? Okay, that is weird. All right, well, let's not be worried about it too much, because it's just going to be a second that we're going to be lifting it up. Okay, so this is the bad one. Okay, that can go straight to the trash. Let's get this popped into there. And now, if I lower the car, this thing should sit straight. Which it does, which is great. So we fixed something with some old parts that we took off our customer vehicle, which is great. All right, let's put that over there and this over here by the trash. And that way we are keeping it sort of tidy and neat around the shop, you know. All right, just put that back in the toolbox. Okay, let's move over to the other side. All right, so we've got a couple of parts to swap out. So hopefully we're going to be able to reach everything. All right, so it's just one thing. I didn't really strip any parts off the car as such when I was doing the, you know, checking for what parts we can reuse. And I still needed to bolt down these wheels. Oh my goodness, I nearly forgot that. All right, so the strut rod on here looks kind of okay. So we're going to be reusing this. Okay, it's not rusty, it's not broken, so it's just a little bit worn. All right, this is going to go on to our new to us lower control arm, if we can just get it on the sweet spot there. Okay, and then to get that off, we need to undo this bolt over there and the shock absorber bolt over here, and then this one, and that should free up this. Okay, which is in terrible shape, and then we can get this on. Okay, zip it down over there and also over here, and let's make sure we also get this hub carrier bolted down over there again. All right, so that is the one done, and we need to get our shock off again. I don't know why I just bolted down the shock again, but okay, you know what? It is what it is. At least it's just one bolt. Okay, get that onto here, zip it up, and now we can get our wheel back on. All right, so let's just make sure we bolt down all of these bolts on the wheels, because we are going to be taking this thing on a little bit of a road trip. All right, we'll do the same on this side, because I think I just did, yep, I just did 3 on all of them. So it's a good thing I remember to check this now. Well, it was kind of inevitable, because we were going to work on the suspension anyway, so which is great. Okay, so this wheel needs to come off again. All right, so we tightened up only 3 bolts, so that is coming off. Okay, and then I just wanted to check if the leaf spring on the car is better, or if the one we've got over here is better. I don't know. Where's this bolt? It's right there up against the exhaust, which is not really a very comfortable position for it to be sitting, you know. All right, here comes the leaf spring, which, believe it or not, the one on the car is actually better. So we kept this thing for no reason. Now, I can't recall what condition the opposite side one is, but I'm pretty sure it's fine. Okay, so we're just going to leave that one on the car, and then we will keep this thing around somewhere for whenever we need it again. But this hub needs to come off, so which means brake caliper is coming off. Come on, get off there. All right. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky getting these things off sometimes, but now we can also inspect this particular brake caliper, which we can see is actually not too bad. Alright, so we need our screwdriver for that. Brake disc to come off. Let's go ahead and undo this. Alright, come on, there we go. Right, brake disc looks absolutely perfect if you ask me. Well, let's face it, not perfect, but it still looks very good. Okay, so we got the old hub out of here, and that is looking pretty bad. This one is not great, but it's at least better than with the one we've got in the car. Okay, so that is back in. Now we need to put everything back together again. Okay, screwdriver and then hub. Well, brake caliper. Okay, zip that up and zip that up, zip that up. And now, the last piece of the puzzle for me to do is the differential. I hope I'm going to get to that bolt on the other side. Come on, it's a little bit finicky, but we've got it. I do know there's a bolt up there, and I should be able to reach the other one from this side, which is all the way. Come on. There we go. Alright. And there's the old differential, which is absolutely shot. Alright. And now we've got a better one, which is a lock differential, which is not ideal, but it'll have to do, because it's what we got. Alright, zip that up, and there should be another bolt. Come on, let's just get to it. Alright, this one, and there's one more on this side, which is a little bit better accessible from here. And I think that is it, guys. We've got this thing buttoned up again. Alright, so let's just put this right over there, and we can get our wheel mounted. Okay, wheel, get back on here. And then we'll just be sure to bolt down all of the bolts. Alright, so there we are, guys. That is now our Dodge Challenger, as good as it can get with the parts that we have available. So I'm still a little bit weary of the engine not making it to the service center and back, but I've got faith in this old gal. I'm pretty sure she's one of those cars that just wants to keep going and not leave you on the side of the road for no apparent reason. So I think what we're going to do is we are going to pretty much fill it up with gas. Let's just check if the cluster even works. Is there any gas in the engine, in the gas tank? It's not showing anything on the gauge, so the gauge might be broken. I don't know. No, it's definitely moving. Okay, so let me go and fill it up with gas. And it's starting to get a bit late. It's already a minute past 5, so I might have to go and do this in the morning, you know, which is fine. We can also do that. It just leaves me with a little bit of cleanup work to do at the shop here, packing away some tools and stuff, and then we can get it sorted that way. But alright, let's take her over to the gas station and get it filled up a little bit with some premium gasoline over here. There we go. Alright. Just gotta make sure we don't run out of fuel along the way. And I think it'll be great. Oh, okay. This has got a little door over here that opens up. And yeah, pretty simple. Alright, that's a clever design. Okay, let's get it filled up with a little bit of gasoline. And then at least this car's going to be road trip ready. Although we're not really going that far. It's just you know, it's a little bit of a getaway from the small island, because we haven't been over to the main island in quite a while, and I think it's about time that I took the car for a little bit of a drive on the open road just to see if we can clear it up a bit. And what better way to do it than to haul a 2-ton car behind it, you know. So there we are. That is filled up with gasoline, guys. So yeah, I think it's a little too late for us to hit the road over to the service center today, but we will definitely get it sorted, and I will let you guys know in the next episode if we ran into any trouble with this car, seeing as I'm probably going to be doing it off camera, because we really need to get that car over to the service center ASAP. But yeah, that is going to be it for today's episode, guys. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Please do give us a thumbs up if you have enjoyed this episode, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. I will appreciate it very much. And then I'll see you all in the next one. So cheerio for now.